This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the month of December 2025. As December starts, you may question whether the calendar has changed. Aren't choppy waters still churning, roiling, and washing over all of existence? True, but the air above them is lighter. And besides, they're not for long. They're building to one last tidal wave, dislodging even more to the ongoing stories and precipitating powerhouse responses to everything that has been surfacing in the past month or so. And then the waters die back, and we contemplate the current condition of the ground and what to do about it. But first, those waters, consider them an undercurrent that will notify you when their time arises. Before then, look out for prospects of fulfilling deep desires with letting go of lesser ones, likely part of the bargain. From Venus sextiling Pluto, December 2nd. The noise level rises December 4th at the Gemini full moon. Minds and mouths are running every which way. Your higher self is whispering among the hubbub. Note which thought loops and conversation topics have run their course. Watch for the ones that are kind, compassionate, creative, and point to the kind of world you want to experience. And then the waters surge again, December 6th and 7th, in a grand finale of the grand trine that has occurred again and again since October. This flow has escalated issues of nurturing, food, authority, limitations, delusion, empathy, secrets, corruption, taxes, and money, as it has connected Jupiter in Cancer and Saturn-Neptune in Pisces to a parade of bodies moving through Scorpio. Mercury's investigative powers launched the water grand trine phenomenon at the end of October, and it's fitting and productive to an extreme that he is the planet completing the final trine. He's unleashing a flood of research, revelations, secrets, powerful message, and monumental exchanges involving the entirety of Grand Trine season. He's especially bringing a deeper, more thorough look to dramas and information from his two previous passes, October 24th and 25th, and again November 20th, while he was retrograde. It could be that third time's a charm plays out for real, with repeated piercings and pursuit finally paying off. Instead of drowning in the deluge, we stand up to the final wave by directing the waters, forcing containment, even forcing accountability as Mars squares Saturn December 8th. The tide's pull soon changes direction when Neptune stations direct December 10th. The turnaround slows the experience of time a bit, or at least our experience of the waters, and it's during this relative stillness that we get a light show. Lightning shocks the water, and we get a glimpse of the shape of things to come, as well as the sense that all's as it should be. When Mercury opposes Uranus and trines Neptune November 10th and 11th. And then we really start to feel the waters ebbing. Mercury's return to Sagittarius, also on the 11th, energizes thoughts and conversations and reignites the ability to laugh. Even though Sag loves to roam freely, our first days in this renewed energy invite focusing adventurous spirits rather than running here, there, and everywhere, with Mercury sextile Pluto December 13th. More water clearing follows. Mars's square to Neptune pushes back against lies or cloaked motives December 14th, after which he begins a 5-week climb through Capricorn. The ground feels firm again. We look at what the water has been washing over, like what's exposed at low tide, and begin making plans for working on it. The relief of all that water subsiding isn't leading to quick action at all. Allow yourself to take in your circumstances. Mars is the advance guard for the Capricorn energy that is mounting as the month and year go on. The planet of action is setting the tone with caution and preparation. He's in measure twice, cut once territory. But even before the measuring, there's planning and charting and projecting and spreadsheet making. And before that, fueling our vehicles, which may still feel waterlogged. A couple of events pump motivation to get going. The Sun's square to Saturn and then Neptune, December 16th and 20th, push against limitations and fantasy. These links sandwich the Sagittarius new moon, also on December 20th, which angles for shaking up ideology and life philosophies and letting a higher vision in. Then, focus shifts to matters down here on Earth. The Sun enters Capricorn December 21st, the longest night of the year in the northern hemisphere and the shortest in the southern. His recent contacts to Saturn and Neptune have softened our experience of mundane reality and reminded us that life is more than striving. Relationships and desires now follow suit, with Venus's square to Neptune inspiring sweet, magical, romantic impulses on Christmas Eve. They make for a nostalgic, escapist mood, which drifts into a preference for traditions and connections that have stood the test of time as Venus moves into Capricorn before Santa arrives. This makes for a still and serious, but not necessarily somber, final week of the year. Gifts may be fewer, but more valuable. Venus in Capricorn is, after all, Santa baby territory. Look for a new appreciation of what you have, what has brought you support, and what promises to come along with you. No jam-packed schedule of holiday activities and obligations this time around. Even if you have a lot of offers, you're likely to be selective to an extreme, or just stay home. Instead of whooping it up, this feels like a time to make solid plans and connections for the future and plot progress step by careful step. After a year this chaotic, it's a relief to have the time and space to look at the mundane details and goals of our existence. They may be weather-worn, beaten up, or showing storm damage, yet they still exist. And focusing on them is not boring, especially with the current sense that we really can build on them again. And it's fine to adjust plans. In fact, it's cosmically mandated. New information and perspectives rush in as the year fades, and they're demanding attention. The source is one final yod, or finger of God, one of the defining aspects for September through November. Rolling out from December 27th to 31st, this one highlights thoughts, communication, and vehicles, with Mercury making adjustment aspects to Jupiter, expanding nurturing concerns, and Uranus, just plain disrupting, while pushing against Saturn, demanding structure and accountability, and Neptune, higher purpose, or just high. As you wrap up the year and make tracks for the next, think bigger. Incorporate flashes of insight, especially the ones that break your grip. Factor in notions of responsibility to your fellow mortals, plus the whispered guidance you sense in moments of quiet and stillness. They're easier to come by now than they have been all year. Use this stretch of time to regroup, to re-envision, and to walk into the very, very different year that's coming. I'm Kathy Biehl, a professional astrologer with more than 35 years' experience. Visit my site, empowermentunlimited.net, to listen to my weekly podcasts, sign up for my weekly newsletter, and book a session with me. I have lots of bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Biehl, which will include an analysis of the Solstice chart, which you can purchase as a standalone without joining the Patreon. And I'm really grateful to the people who support my work there. I host the show Celestial Compass on Om Times Radio and TV on the first and third Monday of every month at 5 p.m. Eastern. I also host conversation on Facebook on the page Empowerment Unlimited and in the group the Astro-Insight Lounge. I post on Blue Sky, Instagram, and Threads at Ka Biehl and on YouTube at the Professional Aquarian channel.